Hang on. Now we're started. So ignore all that silence mouthing that I was doing. Come on down. Flex 14. Welcome everyone. We're starting on our backs today.
Everything else you said is not necessary.
Hi everyone. I know I've just been chunnering away to everybody online and didn't have my mic on. Massive fail from my side of things. Sorry folks. Anyway, we're coming on down onto our backs for our start off today. So bring the feet together and just shuffle your way down onto your backs, allowing the spine to be nice and long. Let the knees flop out to the side. Open up the arms. Feel that nice wide expanse through the chest. If you prefer to take the arms up above the head, that could be a nice passive stretch out for the shoulders. So this is reclined butterfly or reclined cobbler's pose. So just allowing your eyes to rest gently shut, letting the abdominals stretch out. Just taking a tiny weeny little tuck of the chin towards the chest as you stretch out through the back of the neck. And allowing the breath to flow through the body. Letting it bring a little bit of what you need, something special this evening that allows you to flow through your practice. Maybe drawing a bit of whatever you need in terms of what's going on in your mind at the moment. And then using that exhale to float away any tension, any annoyances, any frustrations, let them move out the body. So as normal with our flex routines, we work through some really strong poses. I'm going to give you modifications as we move throughout. And if you enjoy this sequence, it'd be really nice if you could share it with friends, family, and anyone who you think would like or benefit from some of these classes. So just give me 3 more breaths here. Finding some space in the groin, in the belly, in the chest, in the shoulders. 1 more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Super. Take the hands down, bring the legs together. If you want to use the hands to guide the knees in, that's cool. Bring the heels a bit closer towards the butt, and we're going to take nice, gentle float up of the hips. 3 dynamic bridges. So you can get the arms involved if you like. So press down through the heels, press down through the toes. Let's go. Keep the hips nice and stable. Inhale. Floating the hips all the way up. The arms can come up and overhead. Just finding that nice stretch out through the quads. The chest will float up towards the chin. And then when you reach your highest point in that full inhalation, we're going to start to exhale with that nice sense of control all the way down, 1 vertebra at a time. And then take 2 more like that in your own time with your own breath. So finding a length of breath which suits you. Exhaling, release. Controlling that descent as we control the lift. Nice work. Releasing all the way down. Fantastic. Plant that lumbar spine down on the ground. And from here, just stretch out that left leg nice and long. Flex the toes to the sky. Draw the the right knee in. Just give that hip flexor a little bit of a squeeze. Shoulders are nice and heavy. So just encouraging you all the way through this practice to feel your way into the poses. If there's anything that doesn't feel right, take it back a step, readjust, or take an easier level or modification. Okay, let's take a spinal twist. Take the left hand onto the right knee. Open out with the right arm. Take that full breath in as you exhale. As we leave the body, the breath leaves the body, we find that space to rotate over towards the left-hand side. So we're keeping this right shoulder down. I want to look over towards the left if that feels okay. Just stretching out through the outside edge of this thigh, the big IT band that runs all the way outside into the lower back. Yeah, you might have a few pops and clicks as the air escapes between the joints. Alrighty, back through centre. Let's swap sides. Take the right leg long. Draw that left knee in. Give yourself a little hug in, a little squeeze in. Try and activate this right leg a little bit as well by pressing the heel down into the ground, taking the toes to the sky. Right hand, left knee, left arm out, inhale. Exhale, rolling onto that right hip, keeping the left shoulder down, maybe turning the gaze over towards the left. So taking a nice gentle warm up, Giving the body time to start that synovial fluid moving between the joints, getting the muscle temperature elevated. Generally just creating a few muscle memory patterns as we move through some of these poses, which are going to help us for our more challenging poses a bit later on. Good stuff. Inhale, squeeze back through center. And let's take the gaze to the sky. Take both hands onto the knees. Give yourself a little hug in, little rock, side to side. And then I feel like taking a few hip circles. So start taking the knees around in a circle. Take them as small or as wide as you need. Keep the lower back planted down. Try and stay nice and stable through the upper part of the torso. Nice work. So option to roll onto your side or maybe take a grasp around the back of the legs and rock and roll up to seated. Coming into a seated cat-cow, folding the legs underneath us. Now you might want to take the left in front of the right or the opposite way around. Just remember which way around you're going to go because we're going to switch it up in a minute. Hands can come to the floor or onto the knees. So a seated cat-cow, essentially the same sensations as you'd get in your kneeling variation. So as you inhale, lift up through the chest, drop the shoulders back down towards the ground. As you arch through the lower part of the spine, tilting on the pelvis. And then exhaling, like you've been sucker punched in the belly. You might even want to take the arms out in front of you as you arch through the spine, finding that nice big C shape. Inhale, lift up when you're ready. Fill the lungs. Exhale, release. One more little flow here. Inhale. And final exhale, really squeezing in through that belly, finding that core engagement. Nice little release of the shoulders there. Right, switch through the legs, opposite way round, if you please. Sit up tall. We're going to take a couple of spinal twists with the breath. Okay, take the arms up. Inhale. Exhale, left hand onto the right knee. Right arm comes behind. Sit up tall. Good job. Inhale, sweep back through center. Shoulders back and down. Exhale the other way. Left hand comes behind. Nice. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lift. You can slow it down if you like. You can hold if you like. One more each side. Inhale, lift. Then we're going to get rocking and rolling through our transition. Final time. Inhale. Really nice, everyone. Well done. Excellent. Taking the hands and see if you can roll over the ankles. It's a good stretch out for the ankles here. So as you come forward, plant the hands at shoulder width distance and then maybe step back to our first plank and then lift the hips and find down dog. So readjust your down dog as you need to. Make sure the pointer fingers facing forwards if that feels comfortable. You might want to take a slight external rotation just so we're squeezing the upper arms in. We're finding that upside down V shape, that pyramid shape. The head is heavy. We can have a little wiggle around through the hips. That feels nice, just stretching into the Achilles, into the calf, into the hamstrings, and firing up a little bit through the torso as well. And don't forget those arms. Press down through the fingertips, and breathe for 3, for 2, and 1. Take the gaze forwards to the thumbs, walk with the feet towards the hands. Take that inhale, flat back. And exhale, fold, release. Lots of softness through the knees if you need it. Releasing down there, taking a hold of the elbows if that feels nice. And in your forward fold today, whenever you forward fold, I want you to think about bringing the weight forward into the balls of the feet. So the hips are coming in line with the heels. Head is guiding us down towards the earth. Finding that counterbalance with the upper body as we stretch out into the backs of the legs. So nice, passive, easy, floppy forward fold here. For 3, 2, and 1. Grip down with the toes. Inhale, right up tall. Reach up to the sky. Take the hands together or maybe just facing each other. Inhale. Exhale, take a little back bend if that feels comfortable tonight. And slowly making your way down to the floor with the hands on the breath out. Hands plant. We take a step or a hop back. We find our high plank. Engage the quads. Lift the kneecaps. Take the weight forwards. Elbows in. Low plank. Chaturanga. Hold it, hold it, hold it. At the bottom. Let's see how strong we're feeling today. For 3, 2, 1. Inhale, press the chest between the upper arms. Lift up, drop the hips. Knees can lift off the ground as well if you're feeling that strength through the quads. and then exhale, releasing back into our down dog. Okay, we're going to start off with our plank sequence, but we're going to start from a dog move, working into a scorpion with a knee drive. So take the right foot into the air, so three-legged dog, but then bring the right heel towards the bum. Try not to bring the weight over onto the left side, and stack that right hip on top of the left. Okay, so this is your starting position. We're going to take an inhale. I'm going to squeeze that right knee above the elbow if you can, kissing the tricep. And then exhaling, releasing back open. So you're trying to stay nice and still and stable here. So building on that stability, building strength in the shoulders. Keep working into that little flow for another 5, 4. We're going to take a back bend next. Arm our fronts. 3, keep going with that scorpion flow. Really opening up into the hips. 2, building a bit of heat now in the studio. And 1, good job. All right, let's go on our second side. So pop the right foot back. We're going to work into that left leg, so still firing up those shoulders. Trying to release those scapula, those shoulder blades down the back though. Plant the right foot, inhale up with the left. Bring the left heel to the bum as you flex that right foot and left foot and left knee. Maybe gazing underneath the left armpit. Chris has got the smallest shorts in the world on. Bit worried about a bag of tangerines dropping out. Are you ready? Let's go. On that thought in mind, let's kiss the left knee to the left tricep. Exhale, open out through the hips. Good work. 5, 4, 3. Really feel each stage of this flow backwards and forwards. Make sure those abs are switched on. Final 1. Nice work, everyone. All right, step it back, down dog. Inhale, ripple and roll the weight forwards. Exhale, taking a slow lower. Squeeze the upper arms in for 10. Bring down onto our bellies. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and a gentle press down on the ground. I'm going to shuffle my way back. All right, locust pose. Release the arms out behind you. Bringing the palms to face inside the body or even facing down to the floor. We're going to squeeze the heels together. And initially, I want you to keep the tops of the feet down on the ground. We're going to take an inhale, squeeze and lift of the upper body. So it's that chest opening sensation which we're going for. Shoulders reaching back and down. And it's the strength of that lower body pressing into the ground which is going to allow us to lift. And then from there, if it feels okay, start to float the feet up as well. So you're creating that reverse dish shape. And if you wanted to have a little click of the heels together, just to fire up the inner thighs. Pardon? There's no place like home, exactly. Keep squeezing, keep lifted. Don't jerk the head back. Just let the gaze casually land towards the front edge of the mat. Keep going. Building strength in the lumbar spine here. Opening through the chest, invigorating the heart space for 3. And 2. And 1. Awesome sauce. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes. Let's find plank. Squeeze and lift. Okay, toe taps or in your star plank or full star plank. So you can either take left hand and right foot, tap it out, back to center, tap the other way, back to center. Okay, so you can keep moving like this. If you're finding this too tough, you can lift the butt a little bit, but I want you to see if you can keep it down in line. If you do need to bring a knee down, just making sure it's the opposite knee. And if you're going for it tonight, let's take our full press in that asymmetrical position. So step out, press, back up, back to center, step out, press, back up. Keep going, well done. For 5, no floppy, saggy hips. 4, 3, got another back bend coming up. 2, and 1, well done. Back through center, lowering down again. Take the weight forwards, inhale, exhale, switch on the legs. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're down. So you can take locust again, or if you fancy trying a bow pose, have a see if you can grab hold of your ankles or feet. So same as before, locust or full bow. So if you can hold onto the feet, that's cool, or holding onto the ankles and flexing the feet, nice work. So knees in line with hips, so not out to the sides if you can. And again, thinking about pressing down through the thighs initially and through the hips. You good? Let's go. Inhale. Lift up, open through the front of the shoulders, through the anterior deltoids. And when you feel comfortable here, then maybe start to lift those knees up. As you press the feet into the hands, that's where you're going to find that lift and engagement there. Work it into the glutes, into the lower back. It's a beautiful thing. Tony Robbins, it's a beautiful thing. What's that definite problem? He's lying on his equipment. For 3, not comfortable for people who lie on their equipment, nor if you've got a dodgy tongue or digestive system. So if that's an option, just lower down so I'm able to talk. If that's ever an option for you, rock a side bow instead, okay? So come onto the side. If you don't find it comfortable, you've got IBS or anything like that, rock onto the side, take a side bow. Or if you're struggling to keep your plums in control, under control. Okay, I've lost my track. It's all right. We're back. We're back into our plank. Let's go. Hands under. If in doubt, plank it out. Inhale, exhale, press, and rock it back to down dog. Fabulous. Have a little wiggle around. Right, we've got one more exercise left. We're going to take a reverse plank. So we need to come and sit down for this one. I'm going to hop to seated, but if you'd rather lower your derriere with grace and some sort of gentleness, go for it. So bend those knees, lift up through the hips, floating down with the sit bones. So extending the legs out long for this one. Taking the hands, some people like to bring them sort of halfway between the knees and the sit bones. I prefer to have mine a bit further back. Fingertips facing forwards and then starting to extend the legs and lift up through the hips. So inhale and exhale, start to lift. Now if you find that this is too much for you, draw the heels in towards the fingertips and find your way into table pose. So we've got our reverse plank. Now if you want to take this a little bit deeper, see if you can press the toes down towards the earth. Get those hips nice and high, really firing up the back body. Full lungfuls of breath, gaze to the sky. Maybe taking a little leg lift if you're feeling it. For 5, 4, nice work. 3, we're going to transition and then take our balance section. 2, and 1. Awesome. Release the butt to the floor, cross those legs, hands plant. Back we go, high plank, kneeling plank, any old plank you like. Exhale forwards and down. Inhale, lift up through the chest. Exhale, releasing all the way back to dog. And taking a reset and a breather there. Think about what we talked about before, squeezing those upper arms in, relaxing the head, engaging the quads at the front of the legs by lifting up the kneecaps there. We'll open out through the hammies a bit more. One more breath. And then making our way to our thumbs once more. Walking forwards, hopping forwards. We're going to take a chair pose. Take a halfway lift first of all. And then exhale. Enjoy a forward fold. So you might feel a bit more open now in the hamstrings. Now we've created a little bit more heat in the muscles. You can always take a lift halfway and then an exhale to refold. Let's go. Bend the knees. Inhale, rise up with the arms. All right, so chair pose. You can start with the hands at the heart center if you prefer. We're going to have a little play around with coming onto the tippy toes. If that's not for you today, if the balance isn't there, get those heels planted, okay? So chair pose traditionally, it's all about keeping the knees over the ankles, arms lifted, chest lifted, weight into the heels. What we're going to have a go at is coming up onto the tiptoes. We still don't want those knees to come too far forward, so think about sit bones going towards the back end of the mat. See if you can wobble your way into a tiptoe chair. So we're going to inhale here and exhale, if you can, down to a toe stand. As you do so, sweep the arms out behind you, keep the chest lifted, squeeze the scapula, the shoulder blades together. Are we good? Let's go again. Inhale to rise. Keep the heels off the ground if you can. Exhale, down we go, find chair, and then lower it down into your toe stands. And again, really good for flat feet if you have them. And a nice stretch out for the Achilles. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Oh, I like these. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, lift, trying to keep the knees nice and stationary. Working hard into the quads there, lower down. Final time, inhale to lift. Flowing forward fold, coming out as next. All right, as you lift, drop the heels to the floor. Exhale, arms out wide. Releasing all the way down. Knees bend as much as you need to. And taking hold of the big toes with the peace sign fingers. So in order to grab the toes, you might want lots and lots of knee bend. That's fine. Bend as much as you need to. Feet can be together or they can be hip distance apart, whatever you feel is going to work for you today. Closer together they are, the more it's going to challenge your balance. So our forward flow, Rosie calls it bellow legs. So imagine a bellow, in, out, okay? So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to bend the knees, drop the sit bones, lift the gaze, lift the chest on the inhale, and then exhale, we're going to lift the hip bones nice and high and release the head down. So lengthening out the spine, taking lots of weight out of the spine here. Great for decompression, working with that breath. Inhale to lift, knees are bent, slightly sitting down on a chair, and then exhaling to release. Remember what I said before about forward folds, weight into the balls of the feet. Let's keep it there. Inhale, drop, and weight comes into the heels now. Exhale to lengthen. Nice little play around here. Great for stimulating your internal organs. One more flow. Inhale. And exhale. Standing half moon is next. So if you know that you like a brick to assist you with this, grab something now. I will pause. You can borrow one of my bricks, but I want it back later. There you go. All right. So bend those knees. And, sorry, not bend those knees. Taking the left hand down towards the ground, just in front of that left foot. And then if you want to take the right hand down, that's okay, in order to lift that right leg out behind you. If you have got a block and you want to use it just for balance to start off with, you can pop it underneath the shoulders, you get that nice alignment, or you can pop it just under that one side. So the aim here, we're going to float the right hand onto the right hip, inhale, and exhale, open out towards the right hand side. Nice and slow, test the waters as it were. See how this balance feels today. Just accept this is where you are. Don't worry if it wasn't where you were yesterday. If you feel able to and you feel peeling that right shoulder open and lifting the chest, you can take the right arm to the ceiling there. So kicking up nice and high with that right leg. You might even want to rock out a dancer leg if that's going to work for you. Taking hold of the right foot in the right hand, just drawing the heel towards the right buttock as you stretch deeply into that right quad. Don't worry if you're falling around, it's all part of the journey. Breathe in and out. So from here, nice tricky transition. We like to throw these at you at rise. We're coming into a pigeon twist. So inhale, start to bend through that left foot. We're going to lift up, keeping the right foot off the ground. We're going to take the right foot onto the left thigh. So taking the hands to heart center, inhale. Get that balance and exhale. So Kung Fu fighting. See if you can slide on down into your pigeon chair. Flexing this lifted foot, making sure the sit bone's coming down nice and low. Left knee over left ankle. And then we're going to twist the opposite way. So we were moving over towards the right in our half moon. Today we're going to move over towards the left in our twisted pigeon chair or figure four chair. Stretch. Try not to put the leg directly onto the kneecap if you can. Think about moving the heart over towards the hands. Oh, it's a tricky one. For 3, left leg's burning. 2, good work, good stress relief pose this one. And 1, twisted standing knee lift, float up full height. Yeah, left leg's on fire, go to your happy place. Stand up tall, bring that right knee into the chest. Take a breath, let's take a twist. Keep the left hand where it is. See if you can release that right arm out behind. Woo! If you're happy, gazing forwards, and you feel that this is challenge enough, stay there. Maybe looking over towards the right, maybe looking towards your back hand. Nice work. You can always extend through this right leg if you're feeling quite flexible in the hammies. Well done. 3, 2, warrior 3 coming up. And 1, slow release that right foot to the back of the mat this time. Bringing the hands to heart center. Working hard through that left leg still. Cramping up in that left foot. Oh yeah. Now stay here if you can. Or take the arms out in front. Let's work into the abs a little bit. Bring that right knee into the chest. Exhale to extend. We've got a nice release and a cross-legged forward fold coming up. Inhale, squeeze it in. We've got 1 more. You've got this. Lengthen out. Inhale, crunch. Oh yeah, here it comes. Exhale, release that right foot behind. And just take a little bit of weight out of this left leg. So we've got this nice cross-legged position. Right foot a step behind, just like we're about to knock out a curtsy. And we're going to take a forward fold from here. So find this halfway lift. And then exhale to release. This is where the block comes in handy again, because it is going to take a lot of hamstring flexibility to get those hands, if you need to, down to the floor. You can just keep them at heart center. You can release the head further down so you're looking to the knees. Just enjoying that release and taking a bit of weight out of the left foot there. So we have the pleasure of that same flow on the other side. See how old righty Matches up to lefty.
Can't do any worse.
Can't do any worse, can he not, Chris says. All right, nice work. So we've got a little semi-inversion here in our forward fold, letting all that oxygenated blood flow to our brain in the hope that maybe it might make me a bit more cleverer. All right, we're ready. Roll up, inhale. Nice little roll up, chin to chest, all the way up, all the way. Here we go. Oh, there we are. Little roll over the shoulders and a step back. Woo. Okay, pop the brick out the way. We are going to need it, maybe. If you want to, give that left leg a shake. So, starting off with chair. Are you good? If you want to bring the heels down, if it was too much on the tiptoes before, that's cool. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, lift up onto the tippy toes. Exhale, sink down into the chair pose. Hold it there. Knees coming over ankles if you can. Are you ready for those little toe stand and that sweep of the arms? Inhale. Exhale, lower with control. Bring the hips to the heels as you sweep the arms out behind. Press the palms together, engage through the scapula as you open up through the chest. Inhale, next breath. Heels lifted if you can. Exhale, floating down with control. Nice work, really challenging the balance here with this dynamic movement. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, release all the way down. Nice one. Inhale, full height. We're going to take that forward fold. This time, if you want to take into the bind, you could always take the hands around the back of the ankles. So floating down, nice roll down. Hands come around the back of the ankles and the inner forearms come into contact with the calves. So same little flow. Inhale, lift the gaze, drop the sit bones down so you're sitting on that imaginary chair, and then exhale to find length. And you might want to keep a slight knee bend here. That's absolutely wonderful. With the breath, inhale, rise up as you lift up the chest, waist into the heels. Exhale, release down, folding forwards, nice soothing pose for the nervous system, a forward fold. Inhale. And exhale, release. Let's have a go with one more. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, standing half moon, grab your bricks, grab your books, grab your cat, whatever you can. Right hand comes down. And we start to take the left hand to the left hip as we float that left leg high into the sky. Now you can point your toes, you can flex the feet, entirely up to you. Rotating out with that left hip if you can. And thinking about opening the chest towards the left. So finding as much stability here as you can in your standing half moon. Stacking that left arm on top of the right if you've got that extension and kicking up a bit higher, really making this left glute work nice and hard. Full deep breaths in and out. Feel the crown of the head reaching one way, sole of that lifted foot stretching the other way. Abs are engaged. Beautiful stuff. For 3, 2, got that tricky transition to pigeon chair coming up. And 1, take the gaze down as you soften the right knee, bringing the arms and the torso up to the standing position, folding that left leg onto the right, maybe bringing the hands to heart center. Take a breath and float down when you're ready. So working into your figure 4 stretch. I'm feeling really wobbly today. Flexing that foot. Make sure there's no pressure on that kneecap. Sitting down again once more onto that imaginary chair. As you press this left knee down using muscular force, not the hand, you really feel that stretching into the glute. Find that length through the torso, switch the abs on, switch on the lower back. Release the shoulders. Smile. For 3, should we take a twist? Over to the right. Focus, focus, heart to hands. 3, 2. It's a tricky old sequence, this bit. Wonder who designed that. In one of my wiser moments. And 1, good. Coming back through center, shoot up into that lifted knee extension. So wrapping the hands around that left knee to start off with. Yes, the right foot is definitely causing as much concern as that left one. If you can feel like you can float the left hand behind you, have a go. Keeping the gaze forwards, gaze into the left. Gazing to your backhand, maybe taking that extension of the right foot, don't force it, so aiming to stay nice and tall through the torso here, lengthening both legs, maybe having a bit more of a knee bend in that top one, for 3, 2, warrior 3, over we go, kick out with that left leg, I'm wobbling, if you are wobbling, please grab a brick, if you want to have a go at those ab crunches, lift out the arms, level with the shoulders, so everything's in that beautiful T-shaped balance, we get set before we move, in we go, crunch it out, exhale, release, 2 more, squeeze, nice, extend, 1 more, really toning the abs here, squeezing into the back body. Release into your cross-legged forward fold. Left foot comes behind the right. And we're just going to float and peel our way down into our forward fold. So both sets of toes want to be facing forward. The legs want to be fairly straight if you can. You can always use your block here as a little lift up. Or you could always take the hands to the hips if you don't have a block, just holding in that halfway position. So you're getting that benefit. Okay, so if you can, lift those quads, squeeze them, and then maybe release down a little bit deeper. So we're really feeling into that, particularly the back leg here. For 3, 2, got a lunge sequence coming up. Give those legs a bit more of a workout. Final breath, inhale. And exhale, nice work. So just bring both hands into center, so where those shoulders might be, and then float that left foot back, okay? Take a big step back and release. Just have a little rock backwards and forwards, stretch out the base of the feet there, the soles of the feet, and let's go. Weight comes forward, exhale, down, low plank, elbows in, inhale, up dog, and back to down dog. Stretch it out, have a little wiggle around through the hips, have a little shake out of the legs if that feels nice. Pressing down through the fingertips. Alrighty, inhale, right foot high. Exhale, bring the knee towards the chest and float that right foot forwards between the hands. Turning out the left foot, we're going to work into an extended side angle, but we call it a Bikram triangle is the variation we're looking at today. So floating up the right hand onto the right thigh and then extending here. Now this might feel like enough of a stretch out, in which case stay here, look to the horizon, look underneath that left armpit, or maybe look down towards the floor. Check out that right knee over the right ankle. Trying to keep this contact nice and light. If you can, have a go at bringing the right arm up, so you've got that stretch and reach out towards the front of your room or outside, wherever you are. Maybe bring the hands together if it doesn't compromise the shoulders. And by that, I don't want the shoulders to come up next to the ears as we bring the palms together. So any of these are cool. Enjoying the stretch out through the flank. Love that word, flank. Through the side body. Drop into the hips a bit. Remember, if you're enjoying this and you think your pals would love it, tell them. Inhale. Exhale, come down a bit deeper. Nice work. For 3, 2, and 1. Right, take the gaze to that right big toe. See if you can bring the left hand down just inside the right foot. Now, if your back knee is feeling that this is not good for it, then feel free to pivot on the back foot and take a twisted lunge, okay? If you're okay with this revolved extended side angle, we're going to take the right hand to the right hip. Again, think about that rotation from the hips first of all. Keep pressing away hard down that back foot through the outside edge, and maybe take the right arm to the sky. So you're melting the chest to the right thigh as you find that rotation. It's not comfortable through everyone's back knee though, so please feel free to lift up the heel. Deep breaths in, find length. Perfect. For 3, 2, 1. Float the right hand down inside the right foot this time, then heel toe your right foot across. Pivot on that back foot if you've not already done so. And hello, we're in lizard. Have a little rock around in your lizard pose. Deep breath in. Nice. And out. Good stuff. 3, 2. Really strengthening the inner thigh muscles here. And 1. Good stuff. Walking the hands around to the left, we're going to come into a wide leg forward fold. So readjust the feet a little bit so they feel like they are parallel. Maybe turning in the big toe slightly and taking a twisted wide leg forward fold. So step 1, right hand underneath the chest. Inhale, sweep up high with the left arm. If you're feeling a bit more loosey-goosey, You could take the bind over towards the left foot with the right hand and take that twist with the left arm nice and high. So folding forwards, just as with our other forward folds. Again, think about bringing the weight forwards into the balls of the feet, out the heels a bit. Nice. For 3, just so we get that alignment with the hips over the heels for 3. 2, it's a really good stretch for the serratus anterior underneath the armpits. And 1, good. Take the gaze to the floor, release that top arm, and walk your way back round to the front of your mat. Frame the foot, step it back, down dog. Have a little wiggle. We're good to go on the other side, I think so. Inhale, left foot high, and squeeze, knee to chest, floating the left foot forwards, turning out the right toes, and floating your way up into your extended side angle. So you're looking for that heel to inner arch alignment here, tucking the pelvis under so we don't get the bottom sticking out, stretching up, reaching up with that right arm. As before, knee over ankle, option to float that left arm, bringing the arms parallel, or maybe engaging that James Bond shooter finger. Encouraging the belly button to, don't shoot me, encouraging the belly button to move a little bit more over towards the right. That'll encourage the chest to open. And breathe. We've got hips and core coming up, and then a wild card to play with. For 3, 2, and 1. Revolve, extended side angle. So either keeping that right foot where it is, bringing the right hand down inside the left instep, and then taking the left hand to the left hip, opening out there. You might notice you want to take a slightly shorter stride here. That's fine. You might even want to take it a little bit wider, or just pivot on the back foot as I showed you before. Other option is to take the right hand onto a prop of some description. So it's encouraging that back quad to lift up, engage. Don't let the belly rest down on the thigh here. Make that work hard for you as well. For another 3, 2, and 1. Float down with the left hand inside the left foot, and then give it a good old heel toe out. Pivot on the back foot. Find that deep sink in through the hips, and rocking and rolling here into that high lizard. If you wanted to come down deeper and take this rock and roll, and this lower variation, rock on, literally rock it on. Keep breathing. 3, 2, and 1. Press into the hands, inhale, exhale, walking on round to the long right hand side of the mat. Readjust the feet, find that parallel position, maybe turn the heels out ever so slightly, and from there this time we're going to walk over to the back foot once more. So you can take the left hand down, open out through the right arm, make sure the left hand is planted under the heart, or if you prefer, take the left hand to the right foot. And again, thinking about melting forward from the hips, find that lovely strong fold, right arm to the sky, gaze to the sky perhaps, or over to the toes, wherever feels good. Deep full breaths for 3, 2, 1. Well done everyone. Nice little gentle release there. Taking the hands back round to the front of our mat, popping the hands down, stepping back, high plank. Let's transition, or you can rest if you need to. Take the weight forwards, exhale down, low plank. Inhale up dog, exhale down dog. And either hopping your way to the front of your mat with the feet outside the hands, or just walking your way forwards, coming into a little yogi squat. So bending the knees, taking a little hop forwards, heels turn in, toes turn out. You can always lower down onto a brick here if you know that your yogi squat. That's it. Releasing down, lifting tall with the spine. And you can stay here for a few lovely breaths. If you want a little bit more challenge at this point, you could take the nice shoulder press pose by snuggling the upper arms underneath the backs of the knees, fingertips facing forward and lowering the sit bones down as you have a little play, lifting the feet off. That's it. So opening up the upper back, strengthening up the wrists, maybe just tapping down with the toe if you're feeling a bit wobbly. Nice. And then from there, taking the weight forwards, releasing the arms, come on down onto your bottoms, and let's have a little spinal twist Just moving these blocks and straps out of the way. So extending your left leg long, taking the right foot up and over on the outside of the left thigh. Engage this left leg, lift up through the quads, hug in your right knee, and pressing the right hand down behind. Make sure the sit bones are grounded, you're not drawing this right cheek off the floor. Inhale, and exhale, taking a nice little spinal twist there. Tall through the spine, gazing over to the right, maybe allowing yourself to rotate a bit further. Lovely. Inhale. And exhale, coming back through center. Let's take that on the other side. Shoot that right foot out. Draw the left foot in, lifting up and over. You can always sit on your block here if you don't find that you've got enough space. Taking the right arm up, inhale. Exhale, taking a little wrap of the leg, sweeping the left hand around, lifting up tall. So really drawing the knee in towards the body. So you get that stretch out through the left thigh. Engaging that right extended leg. Deep breath in, really nice for your internal organs. Get a nice massage, keeping the spine nice and flexible and mobile. For 3, 2, and 1. Release from there. All right, here we go. Come down onto the back. So let's get a bit of ab work. Rolling down, pressing the lower back firmly into the floor. We're going to take dish pose. So bringing the arms out, palms face up. We're going to try and lift the shoulders off the mat. Now you might want to start with the knees above the hips. The full expression of the pose, we're looking to extend the legs, bringing the chin and chest a little bit closer so we can get those shoulders nice and high, and hold in there. You may even want to take the arms above the head, gazing to the sky. Squeeze and hold for 10, 9, go to your happy place, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Fantastic. Well done, everyone. Bring the heels towards the hips. We've got a couple of dynamic bridges with a slight twist. Really targets the thoracic spine. So nice little practice there. So press down through the heels. We're going to inhale, float up with the hips. As we do so, the left arm comes up and taps just above the top right side of our mat. So we come right up high on the hips and exhale to release down. We're going to try and follow the hand, opposite side now, with the gaze. So really lifting and opening out. So you're almost rolling onto that left shoulder. Keeping the hips nice and steady. We've got 1 more each side in your own time. And I'm going to have a look at our wild card today. Releasing down. And once more. Inhale to lift. And lower. Well done. Take the knees into the chest once you get back down. Have a little rock and roll. Side to side. And up we go. Okay, now I'm going to show you a couple of things with wheel pose. Some basic stuff which might really help you get to grips with wheel. If it's something which you want to work towards, that bridge pose that we've just done, anything which is going to open the front body like that and find that squeeze is a perfect place to start. I'm just going to grab Chris's brick as well for this one. So what you could do is work into that bridge. Maybe interlock the hands behind the back and squeeze and lift from there. Another thing which is quite a good way of working your bridge pose, if you've not got the flexibility in the shoulders, you can take 2 bricks against a nice solid wall. And from there you can release the head down between the bricks, okay? So what this does is it means that the hands don't have to come all the way down to the floor. So pressing here into the floor with the hands, that would be where you'd want to work for your full wheel. Okay, fingertips facing towards the shoulders. I'm going to take my hands to the bricks. So this gives us that nice little angle, bringing the heels towards the bum. What we're going to do is inhale, just as we did in bridge, and in bridge, and float up from there. Okay, that's step 1, float back down. Okay, start to press into the bricks. Inhale, maybe lift up, take some weight through the arms, possibly taking a little bit through the head. Inhale, press up, and try and work into that length there through the front body, lowering down whenever you're ready. So just a couple of tips there, using bricks to help you progress with your wheel if it's something you struggle with. Another way of doing it, you can take the bricks onto the floor against the wall, and you can use them to put your feet on. So I know you can see this. If I go that way, you might be able to see a little bit better. So if you put your feet on the bricks, just conscious of time and keeping them hip distance apart, that's another way of thinking about moving into your wheel by having that extra elevation at the other end of the pose. So pressing down through the fingers, through the knuckles, inhale, lift up, and arching there. Okay, so a couple of things to play around with there. It is a strong pose, it's not always the easiest to get into, but there's a couple of ideas to play around with. And then when you're ready, when you've had a good old play, you can bring yourself down, back onto the mat. You can always have a little bit more of a practice at the end of the session if you've got space in your home studio. Bringing the knees in though, nice little release in there. Just take a big stretch out, bringing the fingers above the head, taking the feet out, mat width apart, and then maybe interlocking the fingers above the head or maybe floating them down by the side body as we breathe into our corpse pose, our rest pose, our shavasana. Not time to go to sleep, contrary to popular belief. Finding that concentration that we had in our physical poses and taking that, channeling it here into our minds, keeping our minds nice and still. Letting the toes roll out, letting the leg muscles soften. Palms face up, arm muscles release, relax. Letting the belly be soft. Just taking a few more deep breaths. Any thoughts pop into the mind, just acknowledge them and then breathe them away. Well done, everyone. I'm just starting now to bring a little movement to your fingers and toes. Well, by all means, stay there for a bit longer. Maybe drawing in one knee, then the other. Maybe having a little with the legs. And maybe dropping them to one side, pulling on that side and using your top hand to press your way up. Coming into a comfortable seated position just to finish off our flex class today. Well done, everyone. Inhale, full height, full breath. And exhale, releasing all the way down to the heart centre with the hands. Thanks so much for coming to practice with me today. Hope you enjoyed that. If you loved it, share it. And thanks again. Namaste. Well done, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have you been in the sun today?
Bit of what?
Have you been in the sun today?
Not loads.